Why should we hire you? That can be pretty intimidating, can it? Do you even know what to say? Do you worry about maybe sounding too arrogant when you try to answer the question? Or actually not even being able to come up with a reason they should hire you? That's okay. I'm going to help you out. This question, so why should we hire you, is actually one of my favorites. Now, I probably would have worded it a little bit softer, like, so tell me why you think you're the ideal candidate for this position. Or, why, given that this is a very competitive process, do you think we should move your resume to the top of the pile? They're all asking the same thing. They're asking you, out of all of the applicants that I have for this job, do you think you are the one I should invest in? After all, hiring, training, onboarding, it's really expensive. And we're trying to figure out who actually is the ideal candidate. Who should we hire for the position? So who better to ask than you? We can use the same process to answer this question that we've used in many of the other questions. And I encourage you to go back through my various episodes where we start to talk about how we mark a question, how we structure questions, so that you understand the thought pattern that goes into the question. In this one, why are you the ideal candidate? We're trying to figure out just what you have to offer that's unique and different than our other applicants. So, let's work together to figure out how to use processes to answer the specific question. The first one is I want you to think of it as a sales transaction. I know, sounds a little weird, but it's true. You're trying to show them why they should invest in you. This is where having prepared for your interview questions, having all of your different examples really helps, because you will confidently know what it is you want to bring across in that interview. A way to structure your answers and make sure that you have all the key details memorized and written down is to go to my website, jobinterviewcoach.ca, where I've created a free PDF for you to actually use to structure and organize your thoughts. It's really important because when you get to this question, you're actually going to have to go back through the information you've already provided them in this interview. Remember, what did I want to tell them? Maybe there was an example I had ready, but I didn't really get to give it to them. Well, now's your chance. I'm asking you an open-ended question. Why are you the ideal candidate? So as you think about how can I sell myself and my qualities and my experience to them, start to think about 2, what have I not told them? I have heard some of the best examples from candidates when it comes to this question. All of a sudden they tell me about this incredible experience or this asset or maybe this training that they didn't get to highlight in another interview question. It's fantastic because remember, a panelist has not necessarily seen your application or resume. They don't know what's on it. So unless you've brought it out in the interview, you may not get credit for that information. The last step is for you to think about, how am I going to make myself sound unique and ideal for them to hire? Remember, your resume and application are probably fairly similar to the other applicants they're interviewing. After all, you all made it through the screening process, which means you all have the mandatory qualifications for the position. So now is your opportunity to really show them why you fit the organization you're applying for. I encourage you to go back and watch my episode on what should I know for the interview. Because in that one we discuss the fact that knowing the organization you're applying for is really important. If you have that information and have done your homework, now you can start to add in elements of your personal volunteer experience or your personal attributes, maybe your own values that add to the organization. It's important to remember that you don't have to share any personal, private, or information that would fall under a human rights code with your interview panel. These would be things like your family status, your marital status, your sexuality, your race, gender, religion. You don't have to share any of that information. And in fact, your interviewer should not be taking that information and examining it in any kind of prejudicial way. However, if you feel comfortable, sometimes this is the question where you can get some of that information in. After all, maybe it is what makes you unique. Maybe it is what can really explain why you would be the unique and ideal candidate for this organization. For example, if the organization has a policy where they are trying to encourage unique, diverse, and inclusive membership, well, then highlight what qualities and fantastic attributes you have that can add to the organization in that respect. There is some great information that I have heard from candidates in this exact question. So why are you the ideal candidate? Why should we hire you? That has literally tipped the scale and made them the one we hire. If you'd like to get more information on how I can assist you, please go to my website. I've created that free PDF that you can download, and I've worked to create an online course to help people really move through their interview practice, figuring out how to logically analyze the job description, apply everything in their resume, figure out what to say, what might be asked, how to prepare. I really think it will help you in that interview preparation and help you practice for success. So thanks for joining me, and I hope that you'll also tune in for the next episode where I'm going to share more useful information. Bye. Thanks for joining me, and check out these next episodes created just for you to help you rock that interview and practice for success. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And don't forget to look up my website, jobinterviewcoach.ca, for that free PDF. See you soon.